Technically, he's just working a classic graduation through the back of the head, where he's directing the hair to sit backwards and go towards the center of the head. This will help him build up that dimension to the head shape for that masculine feel through the back of the head with ultimate control. He's working with the small teeth of the comb to have lots of control in the tension. As he's working on very straight hair, it's important that he creates very clean cutting lines and creates the shape with a lot of precision. Now side number 2 has been completed. Let's move on to the cross check, where Andre wants to create a very flat and fluid shape, working right up the center of the head, making sure side number 1 and 2 completely match in the shape. If there's any lumps and bumps to come off, then just make sure you take them off with the cross check. Make sure the elevation is coming directly out from the head and you're not increasing the graduation and the weight through the center by over directing down at this moment in time. Let's now move on to the fringe panel, where Andre is going to be creating a strong line through the frontal area. He's going to create this first and foremost with the scissors and comb by working a horizontal cutting line with the flat edge of the scissor, creating a very blunt line, cutting on the surface of the skin. He's working a couple of sections deep up in towards the frontal zone, combing down in towards the guide that he's created and cutting on the surface of the skin with a very minimal bit of tension. He's now going to start at the front and use that front length he's just cut through the fringe as a guide, not cutting it any shorter than what he's done, and he's going to be creating a round shape from the front at the shortest point to the back at a slightly longer point. We can see the head position is directly up right now, and he's working with his fingers coming parallel off the head shape and working from front into back to create something very fluid. In some cases, you may want to leave the crown area a slight bit longer, where you could cut a bit more of a flatter shape and overextend the crown in towards the shape at the back. This will allow you to leave a little bit more length through the crown so it doesn't react negatively. We're now just doing a very small cross-check technique, which allows us to connect the top length on the top corner in towards those side panels where we created that forward graduation. As you can see, there's minimal coming off, so this is more of just a cross-check and just a peace of mind to know that everything is connected from side to top. Once we have that symmetry from side to side with the 2.5, Andre is now going to be working with the detailer clipper, which is going to allow him to create a very short length working with the guideline. As we can see, we're working with a slightly raised horizontal line from the front, working with a little bit of darkness through the perimeter to create the outline, curving just above the ear and in towards the back of the nape area. Now, once Andre has gone back down the guards and removed all of the guidelines to refine, he's now working through the top of the refinery with the 1.5 transition guard. Now, you could use this guard on the way down to create an extra step when you're descending, which is also a good option. But it's also a great tool to use when you're refining the fade after you've worked through the steps. As you can see, he's going to be creating a little bit of a picking effect with the corner of the clipper just to really enhance that before moving on to the perimeter of the haircut to strengthen everything through the edges to create that really sharp boxed in feel. As you can see, he's working with just the corner of the clipper and moving away from the line to create that sharpness. And he's working very lightly on the skin to make sure that he doesn't make it uncomfortable or even leave red marks on the surface of the skin, which is very easy to do with these small detailers which work very close to the skin. Andre is now working the picking technique with the point of the scissor just to really refine and polish off the fade, and as you can see, we have a really beautiful result. This is just nice to do after you've worked all the clipper work and most of the refinery, as it gives your eyes a nice fresh view of the outline and the shade that you've created with the blend. To finish off the styling for this haircut, Andre is now going to be adding a little bit more paste into the dry hair, which is going to increase the volume and texture and help him control the density working through the back area where we've built up that dimension. We can see we've got a very beautiful refined finish. On the vertical axes, we have that round shape and the triangular through the back. And from the front profile, we have that triangular shape working all the way from the clipper fade on the 0 through the temple, all the way in towards the top of the curvature of the head. The blend looks absolutely impeccable, working with that nice long spread through the front temple area and then bending in behind the ear to create that really strong finish through and behind the ear area. We hope that you have enjoyed watching this burst fade haircut tutorial, guys, and we hope to see you on the next video. Thank you and see you soon.